Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Montgomery County Legislature's August committee meetings. But before we get into the committee meetings, we have a special meeting consisting of 3 resolutions that couldn't get passed last month because they involved the use of fund balance, and we did not have enough people present at the meeting. We need at least 6 affirmative votes, and we only had 5 people here. So this is the reason behind the special meeting. Clerk, can we do a call of the roll?
Chairman Peck.
Present.
Legislator Patel.
Here.
Legislator Kelly.
Present.
Legislator Sweet.
Here.
Legislator Diamond.
Present.
Legislator Hedwell Jr.
Present.
Legislator Wilson.
Present.
Legislator Duchessi.
Please stand to salute the flag. B.A. Diamond, can you lead us to salute the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I guess I got ahead of myself stating the purpose of the meeting before all that, but so we can move on to the resolutions. Resolution number 175. Resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, Montgomery County mandated forensic billing from mental health. I will sponsor that. Do I have a second? Legislator Sweet. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstention.
Pass.
Our next resolution. Resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, computer software from the Office of the Sheriff. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Kelly and Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions.
Pass.
And our third and final resolution, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, equipment from the Office of the Sheriff. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Patel, Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions.
Pass.
All right, thank you. Is there any other business anybody would like to speak about to close out this meeting? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Wilson. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at
6:02.
6:02. Thank you. Legislator Kelly, the floor is yours.
I was waiting for the boss.
Okay.
I call the Health and Human Services Committee to order. Is there any discussion from the members or the public? Hearing none, we'll move right along. First is a resolution authorizing Montgomery County Executive to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Interfaith Partnership for the Homeless. Can I get a sponsor? Legislator Diamond, Legislator Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, carried. Next is a resolution confirming the appointment of Thomas Lippy as acting Commissioner of Social Services through December 31st, 2022. I'll sponsor.
I'll second.
Legislator Patel. Discussion? Do you want to give a little speech? Little.
Very little.
Very little.
And
I appreciate your support, and we'll work hard to continue the best works of DSS.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? Motion carried. Is there anything under other? Hearing none. Motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.
I'd like to call the Physical Services Committee to order. Item number 1 is open discussion. Anybody have one? If not, I'll move to item 2. Resolution authorizing Montgomery County Executive to sign a contract for the purchase and installation of truck scale at the county transfer station. Legislator Peck. Legislator Kelly. Any other discussion? Sure. All those in Legislator Sweet.
Matt, is this due to abuse or just age or
My understanding is age, but
Primarily age.
Okay, so this was back,
we knew that this was kind of on the, this was gonna be coming.
so this is our responsibility, not a.
Correct.
Thank you.
So,
And this one's a little more straightforward than some of the equipment issues and building issues, we kind of.
Thank you.
All those in favor of moving it to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Item number 3, resolution authorizing Montgomery County Executive to sign a contract for solid waste disposal with Seneca Meadows, Inc. Legislator Kelly sponsored, Legislator Peck. Any other discussion with it? All in favor of moving it to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Item number 4, resolution authorizing the county exec to sign a change order with Harold Clune Electrical Contractor for Benner Road project. Have a sponsor, Legislator Diamond and Legislator Bertel. Any other discussion? All those in favor of moving it to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstained?
Wait,
So moved.
Abstain.
you opposed and you abstained.
Resolution, next resolution, item number 5, amending the 22 operating budget, gas and diesel for the public works. I'll sponsor it, Legislator Patel will second. All those in favor of moving it to a full board?
Discussion. Sean, on this resolution, is it because has to pay for it? Is that why we have to transfer so much in? Is because, I mean, we just transferred money last month for the sheriff department. I mean, is he using, he's not using $120,000 more fuel just for his department?
No, this is the county gate, this is for everybody.
Yeah,
With the sheriff, the
because
sheriff
what happens,
actually pays DPW for gas.
so the question that I have is if we put this money in there, we shouldn't be transferring this money sometime during the year somewhere else.
Correct.
You know, because this $120,000 that we're putting in here, he might be being reimbursed from the school district, from the villages, and fire departments and all that, almost all of it back. So,
Correct. But when he's reimbursed, it does not reduce the expense, it's an actual revenue. That offsets the expense, so that's why he's got it.
He bills each department, correct?
That's correct.
so for, I mean, if he was going to do this for himself, he might only need, say, $30,000 just to cover his own,
Correct.
and not that.
Right. This is for all county vehicles and the outside agencies that contract with the county for the fuel line.
So the next question, I know we're getting ready to do budget season and all that, is this really the good place to have this, or should this really be in your budget where, because it's everyone's being billed and money's kind of going in and going
I
out?
believe the fuel is in the right place because I have no control or no way to monitor the gas mileage, should we say.
I'm just looking at it as we're putting this much money in very easily, because a couple of years ago or last year in the past, we transferred a huge amount of money from the fuel budget to another line item. And we also have a lot of revenue coming in from this, that was my only thought on it. Because this really doesn't give a true picture. The 120,000 is really 120,000 to cover the whole thing, but we also did the same thing with the sheriff last month also.
So it's basically a pass-through, right?
This is the actual purchase of gas from the whoever's awarded the contract. The sheriff is actually
Is going to reimburse the
the
additional
the gas they use.
I wasn't aware we had other school districts use our fuel. Or...
The villages, the schools, I mean, there's a lot that buy it. They don't use it, they use it, but they reimburse us
But
for it.
they're gone through our pumps, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I didn't realize that. As a
It's
convenience.
common, I mean, it's common in every county, it happens that way. But he gets it, the revenue goes back into his budget, is that right?
Correct.
All those in favor of moving to a full board?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Item number 6, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, supplies, public work, legislator Pep. Legislator Diamond. Discussion. All those in favor of moving to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? So moved. Item number 7, resolution amending the 2022 operating budget for road striping, public works. I'll sponsor it. Legislator Pep, second. All those in favor of moving to a full board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And anything under other, we have a presentation.
Well, set. Hi. My name is Max Sullivan. You guys are very nice to have us here tonight. I work for a company, Casson & Keller and Keymark, located in Fonda. And we've been around since 1946. And we've had a lot of discussions over county buildings and other ways we can make our product more, folks more aware of what we do locally. We're a $120 million a year company that sells building products throughout the whole United States. But we struggle sometimes to work with the local municipalities, and they don't know what our capabilities are because we sell from basement hopper windows to 30-story buildings, and people think we only do residential work. So I'm going to show what we want to do tonight is just show some of the capabilities that our company's been involved with in the last several years. And if some of this may fit into your possibilities, that would be great. You know, we struggled recently. The town of Mohawk Firehouse bought windows from a company that had no affiliation with us at all, and the owner of our company actually donated the land to them to build the firehouse. And then because the architect they chose drove the owners of the building to say you can't use those products. And that's not true. You know, you're the building owners. You know, if they meet the specs, and I'll show you that, we meet the same performance requirements of these other companies, but sometimes these architects don't believe that the vinyl or the stuff that we use is suitable. So I just want to share with you some of our capabilities. I mean, this is smaller than the screen I have, but these are all pictures up here of jobs we've done with glass and curtain walls. The building on the right, top corner, is better pictures down. That's a high-rise building, 14 stories for Albany Housing Authority that we designed and engineered with them to do that. Turn this on. Wrong way. And this is, we've been in Montgomery County since 1946, 7 decades. This is a school we did down in Woodbury, New York, down by where the thruway ends. A whole window wall of windows, and it's the first one the state had approved for New York State. So we're doing more of that because we make high efficiency windows that are durable, some of the best thermal performance on the market. These are fun pictures. I don't know, Roy Diamond, Mr. Keller's there in the top picture. That's the founder of the second generation. Some of you folks might have known that you knew Mr. Keller. There's pictures of Casson and Keller. The picture of New York City is Bill Keller Sr., who started the company with Audie Casson. They married 2 sisters, Lilith and Lucille. So the 2 brother-in-laws started as, if you see in the top right corner, they were a blown-in insulation company in Gloversville. Started with 2 guys. Now we have about 650 employees in the community, and we also have a facility in Florida. But it's kind of fun, and some of the folks, Brian Sweet used to work at our company 20-some years ago, I guess, Brian, right? So
30 plus.
30? I've been there for a few years, too, so we got a good group of folks. Am I going the right way? Here's a couple jobs we did, and I put these in here. That's the high-rise building we did in Albany, Westview Homes. Triple glazed high-performance windows. It's a hybrid window with aluminum extrusions from Keymark and vinyl windows manufactured by Casson and Keller. The building on the right looks pretty similar to the office building in the class. Those are black windows we did, and it came out beautiful. And I can get down deeper with this if we have follow-up meetings. I just want to show you some of the things we've done so we can look to see if we might be a good fit. This is the historical building on Syracuse University, Peck Hall. Those arch windows, they're fixed windows. We created simulated divided lights to make it look like a double hung operating window, but it was a fixed window because it's fully climate controlled. So it's another example of some architectural work that we've done. This is a tough picture, but we used aluminum between our vinyl windows to add structural integrity. And that's all extruded here, and the windows are manufactured here. And that builds a window wall that most people don't think you can do with vinyl windows because they don't have the structural integrity people feel of a wood or aluminum product, but we use a combination of the two because we make that all here. And these are some specialty windows that we do too. That's a Buffalo Historical Museum over on the right. So we put that window in there with the arches, the grills, these casement windows, just to show you we have all these capabilities. This is a 12-story apartment building we did in Saratoga, New York. You know, we struggled to get a building over here, a one-story building, to get our window in there. They didn't think it was capable of doing it, and we could do a 12-story building. So I drive by it every day to go to work. So it's one of the things that sticks in your craw a little bit when you're a local manufacturer. This was New York City, a job we did 14 stories tall with our vinyl windows made by Casson and Keller, right on Park Avenue, right at Central Park. So if we can meet those requirements, we can do a lot of the buildings in Montgomery County. We're actually putting windows in the Amsterdam high-rise right now. It's 12 stories high. We just did the Stratton apartments.
We can see right through your product.
Yeah, perfectly clear. They see through, you know, the business is up and down. You know what this one is. So we did a job, now you know Plattsburgh, New York, right?
I do.
We did a job, we put 7,000 windows in the Air Force Base up there. Very stringent government requirements, very extreme conditions. These windows were put in 25 years ago, and we never had a single complaint on any of those windows. I think that's a pretty strong testament to the quality of our product. Or it may be they closed the base 2 months after we put the windows in there. Okay, so one or two, but that's our government at its best. But they did. They had moving vans moving out while we were putting windows in. But it is, though, our window qualified, though, to be in those harsh conditions and government installation. And it was a large project for us, very large project. So we have a variety of things that we can do. And this is just products that Casson and Keller manufactures right here. That's the window division. Keymark, I have a little more couple slides. That's an extrusion division, where we make aluminum extrusions for major manufacturers, architectural manufacturers all over the country. So anything that you can do with any building that they have from single story to 50 stories high, we can be partnered with a company that can help supply products for that. And we just did the Fulton County Courthouse. We're doing that right now. And we helped write the specifications for that. Saved them about $40,000 in architectural fees. But it has all the clauses in it for or equal that everybody's aware of, you know, so it's not a proprietary bid. So we work under all AIA guidelines for the architectural documents. These are just some state studies, you know, where vinyl windows have been put in the Swiss Alps. They've been put in Washington. This isn't our job, but this shows the value of vinyl window systems. This is a job we did in Saratoga Springs. We get architectural shapes, energy savings. We can do triple glazing. We have R5 0.2U value windows, some of the highest in the Northeast. You know, everything's environmentally friendly. We scrap everything. Vinyl, the glass gets reused, any screens, all the aluminum. You know, we recycle as much as we can. Structural testing. This is where it gets, you know, we belong to the American Window and Door Manufacturers Association, the American Architectural Manufacturers Association, and all of our windows are tested by independent laboratories and giving ratings the same as an aluminum or wood window is. So people once again have a misconception. Vinyl isn't a sustainable, durable, structurally sound product to use, but we tested the same standards. And our windows are made like for 14-story buildings. This was a fun job we did. This is the Fulton County Courthouse. We did the CAD drawings to go with the building. So we saved them an architectural fee. We did all the drawings. We put the bid out to do that. I actually have a paper copy of the bids that we did for them that I could share with you folks. Or one thing we'd like to do too is anytime you would like to come to a tour to our facility, we'd like to walk you in there. I mean, it's pretty interesting to see from molten aluminum, pure aluminum ingot. We cast our own logs, we extrude those like a Play-Doh maker to create the shapes to finish window products. And it's all done within, you know, about a mile and a half from here. But we did all these drawings here, and that's an aluminum shape on there that my pointer won't work on the television, but there's aluminum married with vinyl. So we married the two window products, and we're able to come up with a structurally sound window, and that's what we're doing. That's the Fulton County Courthouse right there that we just put the windows in. Shows some of our equipment, but we have all robotic equipment, automated cutters. You know, it used to be on there when I was first there, when we first put in some of the automated equipment, employees were worried about losing their jobs. Now we can't get enough automated equipment because we can't get enough employees. So more and more. Key to that, though, you got to have good people to run them. You know, you can't have, but we have robotic arms. It's a pretty interesting tour, and this is just the window division. The window company is about $20 million in sales. The extrusion company is about 120 people. And this is Keymark Corporation. This is our sister company. They're a larger company, but Castle & Keller started first. Roy might remember some of this. Mr. Keller actually sold bonds. I think he sold some to your father, and John Bonshart, all those guys back in the day, if you remember, and to start the company. And that was Mr. Keller over there, the aluminum extrusions, and the newspaper article said, Keymark plant in Fonda to employ 110 male workers. How would that fly today if you put that in the paper? But that's what the paper said back then. And it was a small business loan. So that's a little timeline. But these are projects that Keymark has been affiliated with. And the companies that Keymark's work with are, this is the Window Tech, that's in Ballston Spa, Northern Architecture, New Jersey. They supply all kinds of aluminum products all over the world, all over the state, country. So anything we do from the building up on the hill to anywhere, we have affiliations and products that are started and made right here that can be used for those, and they're all architecturally acceptable and out for a competitive bid. This is the feature products. This is aluminum windows that were being made in New Jersey that, actually these were made to go to a school in upstate New York. Okay, but it's our aluminum. We don't make aluminum products here at Castle & Keller, but we have sister companies that we partner with to do that. And these are high-rise structures that we've been involved with in New York City. This was a fixed casement window, a hopper window that we did at one of the building on the left. And this is a casement window, dual action. These are like European windows. And these are storefront glazing that they're doing in the new buildings up there. So we extrude all the metal for that and partner with glass companies to do the projects. These are some other buildings that we've been involved with. We did the aluminum for the Brooklyn Nets, the arena. We put that was all our aluminum for that. So, all right, I went through it pretty quickly. This was very nice to have everybody let us come in here just to overview. So if we have projects in the future, our success has been to meet early on in the program to help guide what a local product may be able to do to be part of your projects. And it's all, once again, done through the architects, the engineers, and we can work through them. And once again, open invitation if you ever want to get a tour of facility, I'm glad to do that.
Okay.
Any questions?
So any of our industrial development buildings that we've done, have you supplied any of the extrusions for those?
Not that I'm aware of, no. And, it depends. We've had struggle with CT Mills, an architect that we work with, or they work with you guys, and they're very down on vinyl, trying to get over that hump. We're able to do these other buildings, but they gave us a cold shoulder when we tried to talk to them about it for that building over there. That's what kind of, the 2018, the courthouse building.
Put all the windows in the courthouse.
And we put them in Dick Alici's office in Fulton County, but they didn't want them over here. It was kind of awkward. That's how we got the impetus to get the meeting together, so. All right.
Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. We're all set, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you for having a business on behalf of the legislature in Montgomery County and paying taxes and employing all those people and also making a quality product. Thank you.
We're fond of guys forever. We grew up next to each other. Ryan Hayden on Spear Road.
So can you provide some pamphlets and marketing materials to our industrial development agencies so they can provide to our clients?
Sure. We have that technical information and everything that they're doing stuff. We do it Fulton County now, so we can do more here. And Matt and I just talked about getting together to try to do some more. So it was just fun to be here, and I appreciate it. See all you guys. Anyway, thanks.
Matt, thank you so much, man.
Be good. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Let's let her go. Let's go.
Give me 1 second. Okay, great.
I'd like to call order the Public Safety Committee meeting. Committee of the whole, all members are voting members. Privilege of the floor. Hearing none, we'll go right on to the resolutions. We only have 3 this evening. Resolution amending the 2022 operating budget with forfeiture monies, district attorney. Sponsor. Chairman Pett, legislator Hadwell. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstention. Next resolution, a resolution amending the 2022 operating budget, eliminating the position of code enforcement officer and establishing an additional criminal investigator, part-time, district attorney's office and emergency management. Looking for a sponsor. Legislator Wilson, legislator Patel. PA.
On my phone, I figured you'd want to hear this. So
Yes.
basically, it's somewhat of a shell game. What we're doing, and it's kind of a win-win for the county. Recently, we had a committee that got together to revamp our arson plan in the county. It actually dated back, I think, in 1984 or earlier. And so I have a lot of thanks to give to Jeff Kaiser, spent a lot of time on that arson plan. I think you'll see it next month. But we've updated that. We spent a lot of time on it. Jeff Smith, Tony Agresta, Tim Miller, Matt with us, Nicole Yeagle, and of course Megan. And we spent a lot of time on it. It's going to be a great tool for the county. This particular position takes the code enforcer position and just adds to a criminal investigator. So you're getting the same bang for your buck with an additional feature of having a criminal investigator. That particular person will have the ability to make arrests in an arson investigation. So we're not taking away from anything the towns do, from the volunteers, from our paid firefighters. We're just adding a piece of sort of like a quarterback on the criminal investigations to sort of streamline things. I think it's very important. Schenectady does it, Albany does it. Which I'm looking at now, I can't remember what other counties came up.
It's definitely a worthwhile position, and it also gives us a quarterback, so to speak, on these arsons as far from the investigative side, so it just seems to make a lot of sense.
We took the model from the other counties that have been doing it for years, so they take a paid firefighter and make them a criminal investigator because they already have all of the certifications and the training. We're not reinventing the wheel. That individual will have to attend some courses at the police academy in order to be able to get this arrest authority. But it's really, we want to get ahead of the 8 ball on this. We don't want to wait till it's a problem, we want to get in front of it. So again, no cost to you in terms of impact, but a great asset. Any questions?
Legislator Sweet.
Now, did we ever hire a code officer?
Yes. Yeah, it's the same person that would be filling this role.
Okay.
So, and really, it was offered to do it with no additional costs, and
So it's just a change in title.
and it was one complicated change in title,
Yeah.
to say the least. This has been months, but we're finally at a place where everyone on the team is 100% behind exactly what it is, so.
Okay, thank you.
Legislator Patel.
So this is the code enforcement officer we hired last year to handle the
Correct.
construction of the buildings,
Correct.
who is also a fireman.
Correct.
So whose budget is this going to come out of now?
Well, I guess what they did was move it from Eric's budget to my budget. So essentially giving me the authority to hire and fire that position and supervise in terms of the criminal aspect of it. Eric's still supervising everything else, just in terms of the criminal portion of an arson investigation.
And those were some of the details that we really went through and had conversations with the state engineers, we didn't want to lose any of the code enforcement pieces, so,
So when the budget comes out in October-ish, it's going to be in your budget, and it's going to be taken out of DPW,
Emergency management.
emergency management, and it's just funded out of fund balance, basically.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
As it exists now, just that, again, we have this added feature and ability, which is really important. Again, the current investigations have been wonderful, top-notch people on them, but we really need that one piece, that one quarterback, so we can get ahead of these criminal investigations, stay on top of them, and, know where the resources are. Not that they don't now, but I'm just saying there are additional resources we can tap into. Down the road, there may be other grant projects available with alcohol, tobacco, or firearms, for example. If we have this kind of a position in place, I've talked to them last year. lots of tools, bells and whistles, and money that might be available to us at no cost to the county, but this is kind of the first stepping stone to get into that position to be able to bring more resources for these things. And again, getting ahead of it before it becomes a problem is really ideal.
So we're changing class, excuse me, I have another question, is that okay?
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
And it's we're just going to. So you're changing the classification from this code enforcement officer? Is there anything we need to know about that or?
No, and it actually, the beauty of it is, it's really an as-needed position. It's going to depend on how many investigations there are. There may be one during a year, there may be 6. So, having this position like this, we're not funding a position where we may not need that person for half the year. That person just steps up when the time is right. They need it.
So they're saying doing the code enforcement.
And I can tell you, we've had probably 4 or 5 long meetings with the personnel officer on this one. So I can say without beyond the shadow of a doubt, those issues have been worked out.
Thank you.
Legislator Kelly.
So the base salary of $38,000, they're going to get that whether they are?
Yeah, that was what was passed before for the previous work, and it is satisfactory for the addition of the investigator work.
So still doing all the previous work and then coming out on these criminal investigations when needed.
Okay.
So we're adding responsibilities without any additional salary.
Okay.
And I think primarily they'll still be based at emergency management in terms of physical, because that's really where all the tools are for the current position. And then come out on calls when we need them.
Further discussion?
Nice job, not doing more with less.
Try.
Exactly.
Legislator Jess, anything about the fireman part of it?
Well, I gotta tell you, I strongly support this, as I do all of your efforts to improve the operations of your office. And this is not the first thing you brought before us that shows that kind of improvement. So it's very commendable.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. And the last resolution for this committee, resolution amending the salary of various part-time assistant public defenders from the Public Defender's Office. Looking for a sponsor. Chairman Pep, Legislator Wilson, discussion. Legislator Kelly.
Being we're changing some of the salaries by a grant, if we lose that grant, will they go back down?
Attorney Marcelo.
We've been getting grants from the Legal Services Office for 10 years now. And the grant money, rather than be reduced, it's been going up. So the answer is that it's possible the grant money was not there, but that has not been an issue. It's only increased over the years.
Legislator Kelly.
And is their job increasing in demand?
The Public Defender's Office, I don't know if you're all aware, has, for the last couple of years, we're open 24/7. We always have a lawyer on call. There are 9 lawyers in the office, and we rotate 1 week on, 8 weeks off. So it's fairly demanding. Some counties pay extra for the lawyers who are on call. We don't get any extra money for being on call. So I'm saying that all the lawyers pretty much do the same work. So I think it's equitable that they all get at least this minimum wage salary. Right now, there's a disparity, and I really can't, when I look through them, I can't justify why one's getting one salary and another's getting another. Also, some of you may be aware that the legislature this year had before a bill to raise the assigned counsel rate, 18B lawyers rate, from $75 an hour to $150 an hour. It didn't pass, but New York City, court in New York City issued an injunction which now has required New York City to pay their 18B lawyers retroactive to, I think, February, $158 an hour. The last time there was an increase for upstate, as I understand that's exactly what happened. The legislature didn't approve it. The court in New York City issued an injunction, and the following year the legislation passed it. So if that happens again this year, the rates are going to go from $75 to $150 an hour. And I am concerned that I may not be able to keep the office fully staffed as it is now. If these lawyers are able to make $150 an hour, they may, if they feel that they're not being paid something, some incentive to stay. I mean, I know one lawyer who made over $100,000 just in one county, 18B. So if the rates go up to 150, they're going to be able, that's quite a bit of money. I know that I had one lawyer in my office who had 2 trials last year. He would have exceeded his pay just from if he was assigned counsel, just for $75 an hour. So I hope that kind of explains it. I just feel that it's not equitable to be doing the same work and getting one pay and one getting another. And like I said, it's also going to be, I hope, an incentive not to lose lawyers, because I do believe that the rates are going to go up this year.
Is that Mickey Golan's or Mike Nesmith? It sounded like the Monkeys.
We don't want to talk about monkeys.
Any further discussion? I'll start turning myself. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Anything on their other? Motion to adjourn. Legislator Wilson, second. We are adjourned at 6:37.
Thank you. Call Personnel Committee to order. We have one item for discussion this evening. First is privilege of the floor. Does anyone wish to be heard? If not, we're on to the single resolution, which I'll sponsor. It's a resolution of amending the operating budget personnel. I call for a second.
Second.
Diamond. Is there any discussion here? I'll advise the legislature that I spoke with Nicole Yeager today regarding these items and feel confident in their being moved. Excuse me. So on the resolution amending the operating budget as indicated, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed or abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is carried to the full legislature. Is there any other business before the board? If not, I'll call for a motion to adjourn. Diamond, thank you. Wilson, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
6:39.
All right, I'd like to call the Budget and Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:39, the committee of the whole, so all of them. Anybody want to discuss anything preliminarily before we get into the resolutions? Sean, I just want to ask you a question. We did get a copy of the 12/31/20 statement. We know it was delayed because of hang-ups with DSS reconciliations, blah, blah, blah. It looks good. You can see the fund balance unencumbered about 16 7 or so. But the timing of the 12/31/21, are we going to be able to get that a little bit sooner?
We've already started, and the goal is to have it complete by year end.
Okay. All right.
That's the goal right now, as long as the departments stay on schedule.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to the resolutions. Our first resolution is a resolution approving the abstract of audited claims. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Diamond, Legislator Wilson. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, carries to the full board. And then next resolution granting $200,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Village of Nelliston for the rehabilitation of the Nelliston Schoolhouse for a child care facility. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Kelly, Legislator Sweet. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves to next week's full meeting. Resolution authorizing the use of $700,000 of American Rescue Plan funds by Montgomery County Department of Public Works. I will sponsor this.
I'll second.
You will sponsor it. Any discussion? I think it's, these types of purchases are typically on our capital plan, often require bonding. I think it's a good use of the our money there, rather than having to bond for these things. So, any further discussion? Yes?
What are we getting?
2 dump trucks, I think.
Yeah, that's for the 350, but also a laundry list of critical maintenance for the building. Yes.
Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves to next week's meeting. The next resolution designating additional depository for county funds in the name of county treasurer during 2022 and fixing maximum amounts which may be kept on deposit therein at any one time. I'll sponsor that. Do we have a second? Legislator Patel. Sean, can you just explain to us, how this came to surface, not at the annual meeting and your desire to get involved with these people?
This company approached me, and we've had some discussions over since the spring at our finance school. Currently, it's an investment pool made up of strictly public entities in New York State. Currently, there's over 800 municipalities in the program. 32 are counties. 32 of the 59 counties are currently in this program. And currently, the return on investment right now is about 1.3 to 1.4%, where currently right now I'm getting only 0.3 to 0.5 interest on regular bank accounts or CDs.
I did meet with some representatives from this company just coincidentally last year at the NISAC conference, and they were really looking to see if they could get involved with our bank, but it sounded like a nice program, so I just wanted you to inform everybody what it was all about. Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right, our next resolution granting $100,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to the Amen Place Food Pantry. Do I have a sponsor? Legislator Patel? Legislator Wilson. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
I want
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Legislator Patel.
just want to go on the record that I do volunteer for the Animal Soup Kitchen. I'm not a board member, I don't have any interest in it, but I do volunteer there. And I will follow up with our attorney about voting on it next week.
All right.
We saw your picture.
Every week, right?
Amen to that. For once, though, I actually had to try to find you in the picture. It was taken from such a distance. Usually you're right in the middle, like Alfred E. Newman. All right. So that one, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right. Our next next resolution authorizing use of $33,000 in American Rescue Plan funds for purchase of Sotoxa roadside drug screening systems. I'll sponsor that. Do we have a second? Legislator Kelly. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right, that moves to next week's meeting. Our next resolution appears to be the final one too. Resolution granting $15,000 of American Rescue Plan funds to Mohawk Country. Legislator Kelly, Legislator Sweet. Discussion, Legislator Kelly.
Is this on top of the?
Yes, that was for Plain Museum. This is.
But the tourism money that we normally give out to Mohawk Country?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, just coming out of our place.
All set, Legislator Kelly? All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions, all right, that moves to the full board next week as well. Under other, I know that Legislator Sweet has been approached as our Education and Government Chair by our Board of Elections regarding some information you have in front of you here regarding estimates on voting machines. Legislator Sweet, why don't you carry the floor?
Yeah, I met with Terrence and Terry last week, and they brought my attention that the current election machines are 14 years old, and they had a couple of them already break down. They're starting to need maintenance. So they questioned whether or not we could use ARPA funds for this. And I said, well, I'll bring it up at the meeting and we'll discuss it. My opinion is if we can use this money, just like with the truck, rather than bond for something, why not use this? It's something that's going to happen. They would like to use the Clear Ballot Group because they already have software for the absentee ballots that they're already using, so those would kind of bring it together. So I guess it's open for discussion if you feel that it's something that we should have them bring a resolution for next month's meeting, and then we can proceed from there.
Matt,
any input here? I know you've been scouting out things from the
line is, just want to make sure that they're following all the proper procurement, and also that we make sure that we're exhausting all of our grant opportunities, because I know that there is some help out there, so definitely something to sit down and dig into.
Yeah, I did ask them about grants, and they said there hasn't been anything recently. There was the previous time when they first came out, but that's something that we should bring up to them also, just to make sure that we're not, if there is grant money out there, use that first, obviously. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to upgrade or update, anyways. 14 years any electronic devices.
I think the big issue too is the security and the integrity. Right. That's where the risk is. Yeah.
And Matt, I know you sat down with Vineski. You massaged this list of things that you want to spend and bring before us, spend this money on. And obviously there's room for it now, but is there, based on what you have planned for the, $4 million difference that we have unused, do you think we can fit this in? Or?
I think we're getting down to the point where, it's going to depend on some big decisions that we have to make with some upcoming projects. But I think now would be a good time to maybe put a list out there to the legislature of the remaining requests that have come in, and we can all kind of make a decision on how we'd like to proceed. Maybe achieve consensus and then take it from there. But yeah, after tonight's probably about $3 million left, and then you also have, obviously we haven't been spending fund balance. So we'll take a look at what we have left. And it's also a great discussion heading into budget season, because we can also plan some of these out, for next year and really kind of look at it holistically.
All right, thank you, Legislator Sweet. On to the dashboard reports. If you look at our general fund, expenses are all in green, which is good. Our income here, that state aid DSS was lagging. We know it's on a 60-day lag to begin with. Sean, I did ask Sean, and again, the anomaly of why is the federal money, claiming in faster than the state money? The comments say they filed all their reports as of June, for the month of June, which they needed to do by the end of July. July's by August 20th, so we're not quite there yet. Any word, Sean, on July? Do you think you're going to see it this week?
I haven't
Okay.
reached out to them yet, but I will.
Yeah, all right, but you can
For next week.
dig at that a little bit. The departmental income there, that's directly related to the home and community services, correct?
Correct.
And it's because, we're not, our costs have gone up to transport the garbage. However, that expense line staying, within the parameters, the green parameters. But now, Sean, you were telling me the other day that right now we're running about $200,000 over budget on our.
Through June, through the end of June, solid waste operation is a little over 200,000.
And at this clip.
And mainly that is due to the fuel surcharge being charged because of the price of
transporting it to second. And you said that number at the current pace could go up as high as 400,000 by the end of the year. That we'd be in the hole on our garbage operation.
Correct.
Legislator Kelly.
And do we know where we should be adjusting our tipping fee?
Well, I asked Sean to put that together because I know that's going to be the next thing, because obviously you can see that if you look at the resolution, it went up about $8 a ton. So, Sean?
We need the county executive to get together and discuss with that. We may see something as early as next month.
Okay, thank you. Your other dashboards are all, obviously the county road fund is a function of the CHIPS money being used. How are we doing on that? We're getting through
Well,
it?
CHIPS, they don't claim really any significant amounts until
To the end.
September. They start with the bigger claims start in September.
Okay. And road machinery fund is just a pass-through, really nothing to be alarmed about there. And the health insurance, the income in the red there, won't be posted on, July is going to be
The
posted.
bills went out in July.
Okay.
Most of it should be, for that quarter, will be received in August.
Martin, I'm sorry.
It's on another fund.
Okay. And on the sales tax, if you look at the report, we're through August here. In total, did a little quick math. Year to date, we're $2,027,000 over last year, although you can see the trend, as we discussed last month. That last July figure was not in last month. It came in considerably lower than the previous year. We're tracking a little bit higher the first two payments of August, but generally trending in a less of an upward fashion. Let's put it that way. But if we were to hold the line here and keep a $2 million spread over last year's performance for the rest of the year, just reminding, last year we took in $41,556,000. If we're $2 million over, we'll be up to $43,500, $43,600, and our budget was $34,250. So, even if we stagnate, we're still probably going to end up well over 40 million and well over our budget figure. But certainly something we got to continue to keep an eye on based on the trending. Mark?
The health insurance fund, have we filled out for that?
Because I filled out quarterly, so the second quarter bill was sent out in July. Most of it should be received by the end of the month. So really, you're kind of in a lag because once these payments, we should be about 50%.
So last year it was about 3.5. This year, year to date, 1.9. Is that because of the billing lag?
All set?
I'm sure Nicole could provide you a very detailed account.
All right, any further discussion under Budget and Finance Committee? Hearing none, the motion to adjourn, Legislator Kelly, Legislator Burtell. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:54. Thank you.